All right, and we're back with more Ys Origin. Two Stupid Gamers. This is Mash.
And I'm Zero Mash. You're sounding kind of exhausted there, bro. What's going on?
Am I? I guess it's because of all the grinding I had to do for this playthrough. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably just recovering from getting sick recently, so maybe that has something to do with it. I noticed my voice has been peaking a couple times this whole session, but you know, we still got 3 more hours to go, so we'll be fine. I'll make it. I'll make it work. You know, it's actually funny that you mentioned that, and that I mentioned about 3 hours. There were times when we really did so many sessions, or we did really long sessions, and by the end of it, I could feel like my voice was starting to go as if I was sick, but I really wasn't. I was just, you know, hoarse or coarse. Course, of course.
Before the plague, we used to meet up often to do recordings. We would end up doing it in our old studio, and
Mash's bedroom 1.0.
pretty much. And I used to work at a museum, so I used to have to talk loud for hours at a time. So I never felt my voice get necessarily coarse after our sessions, and we're talking about multi-hour sessions. We're talking about
we have to Grubhub twice.
Yeah, we actually had to do that several times. One when I got to his place after work, mind you, which, you know, work for me would end around 5, you know, depending on the day. It would end around 5. I have to haul my ass over to his place. It would be 6 o'clock. We would sometimes order first and then record, or start playing, eat something because we're both starving, keep going, and then later in the night realize, God damn it, we need to eat again, and then have to Grubhub again. It was an expensive time. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah. But a tasty time. There's a lot of good food to eat around me.
So still remember those days fondly. But talking about food, let's talk about bagels again. Because last episode we talked about the flagel and how, as a New Yorker, I kind of felt like, you know, that was a disrespectful way to treat a bagel, but whatever. You know, it's a gluten-free option for people who can't have gluten, whatever. Now let's talk about this LA bastard, okay? LA, come get your mans, because this motherfucker decided to come to New York City. Go into a New York deli. By the way, for you people who understand New York, you don't go to a deli and disrespect the deli, all right? You don't disrespect the food. This motherfucker walked into a deli and said, hey, I want a scooped gluten-free bagel. Mash, do you understand what that means?
You know, I actually had no idea, but I saw the story too, and it looks kind of gross. It looks like a bagel that someone threw out.
So, for those at home who don't understand what a scooped bagel is, all right? The gluten-free part, whatever, I don't give a shit. It's an option for the people who can't have gluten. I don't care. But a scooped bagel is when you cut a bagel in half, horizontally, like you usually do when you toast it. When you open it up, and then you take a spoon or your filthy ass hands and you pull out the bread, you know, in the middle of the bagel. That's what a scooped out bagel is. You don't fucking do that to a bagel. You understand me? You don't fucking do that to a bagel. Apparently this LA asshole, this bastard, went to a fucking deli, asked for a scoop bagel, and the deli guy looked at him in the face and said, I'm not fucking scooping your bagel, bro. Oh, that's all I wanted. Get the fuck out of my store. The deli guy literally told him that, and I never felt prouder as a New Yorker. I'm going to be 100% honest.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reaction that I was expecting as well. Now, I gotta get out of here. I'm getting my ass kicked. Holy crap.
Jesus Christ, you're down to 39 health?
I was only doing 1 hit of damage to them for some reason. I really don't feel ready for this area. I gotta find some section where there's like a lot of weak guys, and then grind them out. But I'm also gonna accept this divine blessing. Let me strengthen my current armor.
Now, we're not done with the story, by the way.
Oh, I know. You can tell it while I'm strengthening
So
pieces.
get this shit, everyone. Now look, New Yorkers understand this whole like situation. You don't disrespect the fucking bagel, all right? We grow up on this shit. We go to school and we're fucking late. One of the best things to get, other than the crazy ass junk food that you can buy for like $1 or $2, is a bagel with a smear of cream cheese. You know, sometimes you're able to even get it toasted as well. The guy at the bodegas or the delis or whatever, they get it done for you well. You're good to go. Grab a freaking Arizona and you're good to go. That's how we grew up here in New York. All right, you don't disrespect the bagel. Not only did this motherfucker keep looking for a place to scoop out his fucking bagel, he was able to find a place who somehow was able to do it for him. And then he has the audacity to fucking film it and be like, I finally found a place that would scoop out my bagel, and now I'm going to show you guys what it is, and I'm going to eat it over here on this on this trash can. Motherfucker.
He ate on a trash can?
He ate
What?
It's one of those plastic ones, all right? One of those plastic ones. I don't know why he fucking did this, but he got his scooped out fucking bagel, went to a freaking trash can outside of the deli, put his food down on top of the lid,
Man.
put his phone down, and then started like opening it up and trying to eat. And I'm just like, first you scoop the fucking bagel out, now you're eating it on top of a fucking trash can.
I think
You better hope I don't fucking see you in the street.
I think that California people are even more crazy than us, but yeah, that's really disgusting. I didn't read up to that part. I just saw the picture of the bagel that looks like
I'll fucking send you the video, man.
yeah, it looks like someone was basically about to throw out the bagel because it was all screwed up.
Dude, it was mangled. So he shows the bagel on screen, right? And this is his reasoning as to why he would prefer a scooped out bagel. For more cream cheese. Because when you see the cross section of the bagel, he's like, yeah, you see that? You see this cross section? You see all that extra cream cheese that's now in the cavity of the scooped out bagel? That's why I wanted. And I'm just, first of all, who the fuck wants to eat a glob of cream cheese on their bagel? You don't do that to a bagel. You get a nice, maybe not super thick smear, but you get like a nice knife full of cream cheese. You put it over, maybe add some extra toppings on it, get your freaking lox on it, get whatever. I don't care. But why the fuck would you want to bite into a bagel, find out that it's hollow on the inside? You know, because some people would eat it like a sandwich with the cream cheese or whatever. I would do that too if I'm walking and eating at the same time. But why the fuck would you want to bite into it, bite through the thin ass layer of bagel, which by the way is just not satisfactory? You kind of eat it for the bread, only to get a glob, like a shot of cream cheese into your mouth, and then like chew it and be like, oh yes, this fatty gooiness along with just a little hint of bread is so good. That's not how you fucking treat a bagel. And this motherfucker's on camera going, oh, glob of cream cheese in my mouth.
Well,
LA, come get your mans.
I think that that's a really interesting argument, to be honest. To me, actually, that kind of makes sense. The problem is, as far as I'm concerned at least, is just the fact that if you've ever gotten a bagel from a New York deli or anywhere in New York, it already has like a crap ton of cream cheese on it.
Yes.
Like we don't skip on the cream cheese for our bagels. It's just you just get lots of cream cheese. It's the same as like if you went to a deli and you got a sandwich with cold cuts. You're not just getting like 2 or 3 cold cuts.
It's a thick sandwich.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a lot.
So, Mash, just imagine a regular ass bagel with cream cheese on it, like the regular amount you would expect. Double that. And then not even have enough bread to go along with it.
I mean, I like cream cheese. I grew up on that stuff, so to me,
Same here, but do you want a glob of it only?
I used to, and this is also pretty gross, but I used to eat ever since I was a little kid raisin bran bread with cream cheese, and
That's fine.
I would eat probably like 6 or 7 slices. I ate a
Dude,
lot
dude,
of
dude,
raisin
dude.
bran.
That's not an issue. Look, eating a raisin bran
Yes,
fucking bread is like eating a raisin and cinnamon bagel, which is fine.
but I like packed on the cream cheese. So like each successive slice of bread, I put like more cream cheese on.
Yeah, but you had bread with it.
I did.
You had fucking bread with it. This guy ate the equivalent of like an extra thin cracker with a glob of cream cheese on it. Whatever. You can like cream cheese like that, but don't fucking disrespect a bagel like that, all right? You don't fucking do that in New York. We're gonna find your ass. No, and here's he made an extra video because he's like, yo man, New Yorkers are stupid. I'm walking out here because he made another video. I found him on freaking Instagram. This guy is walking outside, late October, mind you. I don't even understand why, in a fucking bathrobe and like nothing else. And he's like, yo, I've been walking around these streets in nothing but a bathrobe, and no one has said a single thing to me. But I get a scooped out bagel, and suddenly New York loses its mind. And I'm like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, that is a little that is a little odd. Just the bathrobe, nothing else.
LA, come get your man. New Yorkers understand why that's not crazy enough because we've literally seen crazier shit. A guy in a bathrobe is nothing. Have you never seen the freaking Santa Claus thing that they do later in the year? Like people like go out and like Christmas shit and only have like underwear on or whatever.
Or the
I
naked
forgot what it
cowboy in
is.
Times Square.
Naked cowboy in Times Square. These girls with painted bodies in the summer. We've seen crazier shit. Some moron with a bathrobe on. At least he has clothing, you know? Shit.
Well, anyway, hey Zero, what did you do for Halloween this year?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Really?
I'm being dead serious. Look, the Halloween just passed for us. We're recording this on November 1st.
Oh yeah.
So Halloween was literally yesterday. Normally, I would have popped in my DVD of Angry Beavers and watched the Angry Beavers special, but for some fucking reason, I just didn't feel like doing it this year. The weekend leading up to Halloween, aka yesterday, I had several events planned. One of them got canceled, which was on a Saturday, but the Sunday, I ended up having some fun. It was cold and rainy, unfortunately. We were going to go to the High Line. For those of you who don't understand what the High Line is, it's a decommissioned above street subway line that has now been converted into how do you call it? It's sort of like a garden area where people can actually, well, not people, but like the city would plant certain plants and trees and stuff like that. And some statues would actually go up along that line. And there are Pokemon statues there now. There's one of Mewtwo and one of Red from Pokemon Red and Blue. And it's kind of cool because it's like concrete, but also like crystals coming out from like several sides of those statues. We were supposed to go to the High Line to see that, but it was cold and rainy, and we didn't want to do that. So instead, we went to a place called Bifrost Games. And Bifrost Games is a tabletop store where you're able to buy and play card games. Like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! But for my friends and I, we went there so that we can play the Digimon card game together and have a nice open area to do it, because it's actually quite spacious. Mash, you remember when we went to the Brooklyn Strategist, correct?
Yes, I do.
Brooklyn Strategist wasn't, small, but it wasn't necessarily spacious. Bifrost is actually spacious. Like, there's room to walk around. And there's way more food options around there, too, because it's in the middle of the city. So my friends and I met up there. The same friends you went to the panel with, by the way, the Digimon panel. And we just played the Digimon card game there for a couple hours. And the best part about it is you don't have to reserve. You just show up, and they want you to spend $10 on anything in the store, $10 worth of stuff, and you're able to play for the rest of the day. Which I find to be perfect because other places will make you pay for a reservation, and then you only get a couple hours. Meanwhile, you can play at Bifrost for as long as they're open. That's what I did.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, at least you did something. Did you do that on Halloween Day or?
No, dude, we did that on Sunday before Halloween.
Well, I do remember the Brooklyn Strategist, and I know that while it didn't have the most space, it's still an okay thing if it's like a smaller event, if it's not too many people, kind of like the one that we went to.
Yep.
But there was this one board game cafe that I went to in the city. It's actually right outside one of the only Go-Go Curry locations. We passed by there.
Oh, Commons.
What?
That's what it's called, Commons. That one's tiny.
That one is so tiny. I like it. It was the first time I was in a board game / tabletop cafe. But that place is so tiny. There's like no space in there, man. You could probably fit like maybe like 12, 15 people tops.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of Commons. They have an amazing spot. The problem is it's just too small. And I tried going there at least once, way back in the day. And I had 4 people with me. And we just could not get a table.
Yeah.
Like, the wait time would have been ridiculous. It was cold outside.
Yeah.
And there were just too many people trying to play like whatever board game they had available. I'm not about that. However, for anyone looking for a place to play a card game, or hell, even just bring your own board game and just play at a spot where people can meet, if you don't have a big enough, place at home, Bifrost is not bad. You just have to spend $10 of, whatever items they have there, which is better than, just paying them for nothing. And if Bifrost isn't your thing and you want a place that offers more, Hex & Co. I went to one of their spots for my birthday this year with some other friends. Paid for a reservation, got a table reserved for us for, I think it was 3 hours. And we just sat and played Yu-Gi-Oh! And they also serve food, so you can buy food there. They also sell card games there, so if you collect cards like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, you can do that there too. And they have 3 locations in New York, so you can always check those out.
I think I think that might actually just be a thing for the area, because now that I'm thinking of the kind of surrounding shops, that Go-Go Curry is like the exact same thing. It's
tiny.
It's not like impossibly small, but it's just
It's
not
tiny.
big.
It's small.
You're not gonna really want to eat in the Go-Go Curry if you even can. That's like purely a place that you get the food and then you get out. But man, like a lot of those spaces are relatively tiny. Now, not everything is. I know Generation Records is right there too. It's a great record store I've been to many times. But yeah, like that one's like pretty good. But some of those other shops, they're just so tiny. There's like not enough room to really care. But I do care about Go-Go Curry because Go-Go Curry is the best.
100%. I love Go-Go Curry. Like, for me, when it comes to Japanese food, when it comes to curry, I go to Go-Go Curry. Good prices, good portions, good food. When it comes to ramen, there are definitely better ramen spots, but one of my go-to places is Naruto Ramen. Because good portions, good prices, good food.
Also,
Like,
it's called
that's it.
Naruto.
Naruto is actually a type of food.
I know.
So
I know. I'm just
the manga and the show is named after
no
a
way.
type of food.
You gotta be kidding me.
Dead serious. So imagine being a freaking Japanese person looking at a manga with some kid with a headband and a big ass brush in his mouth, and the title of it is just Naruto, which, by the way, is like sliced fish cake.
Yeah, it's delicious, by the way.
It's delicious, but like that's like the name of a food. So imagine you're in an American store. You see a kid holding a big ass brush, you know, with a bandana and some sort of jumpsuit, and the title of it is sliced fish cake.
Sliced fish cake. Yeah, I mean those things happen sometimes.
Just saying, it's a little fucking weird. But whatever. I'm not saying the manga is bad. I'm not saying the show is bad or anything. Just saying, a little fucking weird.
You know what's a little fucking weird?
What?
Naming a superhero Batman.
Yeah, it is actually.
What is his aesthetic? He likes bats. All right, and he's a man. Batman. There we go. Done. What other things can we think of? Spider-Man. He gets bit by a spider. He climbs things. Spider-Man.
In Latin American countries, they call him Spiderman.
Yeah.
Because of how, you know, they pronounce the S and shit.
God, I just can't, like, I can't do anything to those 4 red glowing guys because they're the little bombs that they throw do so much damage to me.
Can't you use like the wind ability to blow them away?
No.
Or like keep them at bay?
But you know what? That's a good point. See, this is why 2 heads are better than 1.
100%.
Maybe trying something besides the whirlwind will do some good here.
So again, I'm using my JRPG experience here because playing Final Fantasy and looking up strategy guides, you end up learning, oh wow, this boss that I had a lot of trouble fighting apparently is weak to this one element, so, and also weak to this one status condition. So as long as I abuse that element and status condition, you know, I might just end up being able to fight it and beat it.
Sorry to say, it's not the case. They all basically do 1 damage for some reason. I wonder why. There's probably something else I'm missing here that we have to encounter, but I haven't encountered it yet. But I'm running around and I don't know. I don't see anything. I think I've explored like every square inch of these like 3 rooms that I have, and
I got a square inch room you can explore.
Now, we all know that all JRPGs, in fact, all anime, it all boils down to the same formula. Every last one. It's the exact same formula.
Grind the fuck out of it.
No. It's Mission 1, rescue cat from tree. Mission 2, kill God.
Pretty much.
Oh, man. That's what they used to say about Final Fantasy.
Look,
a lot of
the worst part about it is, and you know, I only recently beat Final Fantasy IX, my favorite Final Fantasy, by the way. Fight me in the comments, I don't give a shit. It kind of does get kind of crazy towards the end. You know, you started out this mission kidnapping a princess. Meanwhile, she wanted to be kidnapped, so it wasn't really kidnapping. Only to then realize, oh, this guy's not who he thought he was. That's why he has a tail. Oh, why is that guy so big now? Oh, what the hell's going on? Oh, the world's ending. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy always had like this religious aspect to it, or like Final Fantasy VII, you know, they also threw in the aspect of corporations and climate change. Oh man, I really like what they were doing with those older Final Fantasy games. You know,
100%.
I got to finish the first one. I got part of the way through the second one on my stream, but I kind of dropped that. It wasn't bad. I just kind of, you know, got distracted by other stuff. And I really want to play 6 one day. I know the music for 6 is amazing. I know some of the songs, and it's really, really good. But I never got a chance to play 6. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. I mean, even Final Fantasy 1 was pretty hard, and I played the Pixel Remaster.
No. If I remember correctly, Final Fantasy VI had this one character, I believe his name's Kefka, And one line that my nephew kept repeating was, "You spoony bard," which is supposed to be some sort of insult. And I don't understand what it means.
Okay.
So I didn't say it's probably hard. I said, "You spoony bard."
You know, maybe maybe that's some kind of like old English thing, because like from what I gather about 6, it I don't know, it almost comes off as like Shakespeare to me for some reason. I could be wrong. Feel free to correct us in the comments. Again, I don't know a whole lot about 6, just the music is great and I heard the story is really good. So I would like to play one day.
A fucking remake of that, like in 3D and shit, is what Square Enix needs to do.
Yeah.
Also, going back to Final Fantasy 1, I believe it was some point last year, early last year, I found out that the Square Enix website still sold sealed PS1, PS2, and PS Vita games. I found out on TikTok from some rando who was like, "Yo, I still want to buy PS1 games, but I want to buy them new." "Oh, cool. Go to this website and you'll find it." I'm like, Square Enix. So I went there and there they were.
Did you get
Copies
any?
of, yes.
Ooh.
So one of those things I saw and I just said, I need to get this because holy shit, this is probably rare, but it's still being sold, but still kind of rare. Not the black label, by the way, all green label, all these games. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 remastered for the PS1.
Nice.
So here's the thing, we have upgraded graphics because again, those things came out on the NES. Now they have like Super NES graphics. Awesome, love that. And to top it off, they gave us extra cutscenes on both of those games, like actual like 3D animated cutscenes that you could only get in those remastered versions.
Right. So it's like exclusive content. Damn.
Exactly. So I got that brand spanking crisp new. Showed it to my brother when he visited, and he said, "I gotta fucking play this." And him and I just sat there watching this legendary game, because let's be honest, Square Enix would not be what it is today if it weren't for Final Fantasy.
No.
And just exploring and playing the game. Again, it's an upgraded version of the first game, but it's good. You know, it's not bad. I also got myself a sealed copy, it's still sealed, of the greatest hits version of Final Fantasy 9 because I love it, and they had it for a good price. I also later on ended up buying my brother a copy of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories Rechained for the PS2 because he always wanted to play it on PS2. We played it on the GBA when it originally released, and it was on emulators, but he wanted to play like 3D definitive version, so we have that too. Which, by the way, anybody listening, go check out the damn it, what's it called? The Square Enix store online. You might find something that you might like.
I'm definitely gonna do that because I have I know I have some of it. I think I have what's called the Final Fantasy Anthology, which was a bunch of Final Fantasy games for the PS1 in this one collection, right?
Yeah.
But
I think I know which one you're talking about because it was I think it was 2 or 3 of them, and they were the Super NES Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, but I don't remember which they were. For some reason, I can't find that collection online when I look for it. I have to do some more research, but I don't care. I would totally buy a new PS1 game just because they're still making it. Like, in 2023, a new PS1 game, that sounds really cool. I would get it even if I didn't play it.
I'm happy that I grabbed that stuff when I could. Because, again, I saw this on TikTok, and this guy was gaining a lot of views at the time. A lot of attention. So when I saw that, I knew I had to run over and just see what was available. I had to.
And pry open that wallet.
Yo, dude, I spent a good 40-something bucks. And I'm still happy about that purchase. Hell, my brother's happy about that purchase because he wasn't there when I found out. When I showed him those pristine copies, he was just like, "Where the fuck did you get these?"
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of unbelievable that you're able to find that kind of stuff these days.
Yeah, I know that there are modern retro games which are new. There's a company by the name of Mega Cat Studios, and they make new SNES games, or sorry, they make new Genesis games, and I think also other consoles as well, but definitely Genesis. So it's not technically a new Genesis game made by Sega, but it is a new Genesis game that's made, in this day and age. It's just a brand new game altogether. It's still pretty cool.
I agree. That's something that I actually support. Hell, last year we ended up finding out that there are still Dreamcast games getting made and sort of released in an unofficial manner.
Yeah.
And Video Games NY, or VGNY Soft, by the way, VGNY Soft, go look at their website. They're pretty awesome.
Go check out our review.
Yeah, and
interview. Sorry.
Yeah, our interview. We'll link it. It's kind of awesome because, again, the Dreamcast is not a horrible system. Sega just didn't know what the heck they were doing half the time, and the poor system couldn't support itself. But having these independent developers put their heart and soul into these games and still able to release them and still have physical copies be released for people who still have a working Dreamcast to play, I think is fucking amazing.
No, 100%. I mean, I completely missed on the Dreamcast.
Oh, dude, same.
I didn't get to play it because I'm sorry, I didn't have one. I think I got to play it, but maybe once or twice when it was still a thing. So when we went back and did the Sonic Adventure playthrough and the Jet Set Radio playthrough, I was like, there was so much like style to some of these old Sega Dreamcast games.
Mm-hmm.
It was like its own era and its own thing. And as much as I love playing this now, I feel so bad that I missed out on this when this was actually a thing, and I mean, that just can't be helped. I was a little kid. I could only get one console. For that generation, I went the GameCube.
I don't blame you. And the thing is, it's hard to tell someone they made a bad decision because the N64 was an amazing system.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the N64. It would have been the GameCube, no?
Well, here's the problem with the Dreamcast. We talked about this. I believe that I don't think we talked about this in the last Yeast episode. It was probably in the Digimon episode. We talked about this. We were talking about modular shit. Sega had released a bunch of modular stuff for the Genesis, the Sega CD, and then several versions of the Sega Genesis itself, and then of course the 32X, which is a steaming pile of crap, sort of. That they left a bad taste in people's mouths when the Sega Saturn was released. Mm-hmm. Early, mind you, when it was supposed to release later in September of 95. Mm-hmm. It released about 6 months early, pissing off a shit ton of retailers and fans. To then say, hey, this console we released like a year or two ago, it's not our future. It's on our future. No, we're just not going to support it much any longer. We have a bigger, better system we're releasing in 1999.
Yeah, I think that alone should make anyone understand why the Saturn died. You can't do that to people that just gave you all their money.
You can't. You simply can't.
No.
And they also made a really difficult decision because here's the thing: the Sega Saturn is an amazing system when you consider everything that has happened so far with it. You're able to add more RAM to it, which can help games run better and look better. The N64 allowed you to do that, but to a lesser extent. 2D games worked amazing on it. 3D games had some trouble. If they had just put a little bit more emphasis on the 3D part, maybe the Saturn could have had a little bit more life to it, because that was one of the main issues that developers had with it. And just put way more support into it. Like, hell, we couldn't even get a Sonic game on that thing. like a true blue Sonic adventure game. We have to wait until the Dreamcast, pay another full console cycle price for that just to play Sonic Adventure. And even that was sort of a messy, buggy mess anyway.
Yeah.
Watch our playthrough if you guys want to see what we mean.
Absolutely. And speaking of playthrough, boy, I really feel bad that it's almost like we didn't really get to do anything, but I just couldn't advance because all the enemies in this area are so tough. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of self-sacrifice in here and use some of my spare time to once again grind out some more of these enemies and try to get Unica to, like, I don't know, like another 2 levels, and hopefully I can kill those guys with the bombs and we can advance. But they'll have to wait till next time because this episode is long over.
Indeed. Thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in. We really appreciate this. If you guys enjoyed our content, slap the like button, mash the subscribe button, and let us know down below. Do you agree that this LA bastard is fucking crazy, coming to New York, scooping out the meat of the fucking bagel only for a glob of cream cheese in his mouth? And also, what do you guys think of the Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast? Let us know. We want to talk about this stuff.
That's right. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to check out all our social medias, and we'll be back for episode 16 of the Ys Origin playthrough. Thank you guys again.
Take care.